Welcome to The Warm-Up, a Bailiwick Express podcast giving you an insight into the sports action that is on the horizon. Hello, I'm Nick Mann. History will be made later this year when the Channel Island rugby side takes to the field for an international clash against Sweden. Later in this episode, you'll hear from Guernsey Raiders Director of Rugby Jordan Reynolds and the club's Vice Chair Chris Gnapp. But to open up, Raiders Chair Gary Haycock-West tells us how and why the idea came about and what it means for those involved.
I'm new to the island. I've been here 4 years, so I've seen that as a positive in being able to challenge some of what is a great club that's playing at a good level, but there's a business behind it. So we always have business challenges, financial challenges. So hosting a SIAM has a good financial benefit for the island, but you sit there looking at your season 24-25 budgets and you go, oh, there's a big gap in May, what can we do? So as a committee we sat there and kicking around some different ideas, and the idea of this international game was born, and so we developed it on chatting to Jersey, etc. And I went home all excited, said to my wife who's a Guern, said about it, should never happen, too much rivalry, too much bad blood. I went down the pub on a Friday with a few mates that are locals who said all the same. So that actually became more the challenge. Gary, the salesman, wanted to come out here and go, what can we do? But being driven by, we need to be more inclusive. We need to develop our game. I'm pleased to say, with some of the changes in Jersey that were forced upon them through the well-publicised situation, dealing with Dan, their chairman, very engaging individual, so he could see the bigger picture. And this whole international game's developed. But for me, it's a great opportunity to move Guernsey, Jersey rugby into 2025-26 season, more inclusive, more collaborative, and take that bigoted old rivalry, which has got a great place when we're playing the CI Cup 2 weeks before, don't want to change that, but actually then say, what's good for the players? They give their heart and soul on a pitch and on a training, through the week, through playing. And you go, how can they take their game to a new level? So, great, I play for Guernsey, I can now play for the Channel Islands. So it's moving up. It's like being an England player playing for the Lions. So, and we're trying to use that sort of model to go, how do we do that? We did come up with all sorts of fancy names like the Pumas, the Puffins, and the Lions, but realised that no one really knows where the Channel Islands are anyway. If we're going to be playing at an international level, we've got to try and do that and keep that identity. So, really pleased. Sweden, some might say, well, do they play rugby? Yes, they do, and if you break down the players, they play at a similar level to us. So I think the spectacle, the game will be very good, and it'll be a good game of rugby. But for me, it's trying to make it a festival. It's trying to make it very welcoming for families and be inclusive for everyone, which is very much what we're trying to do as the rugby club. Make it a bigger family, bring all the bits of rugby together to Foots Lane, from the touch rugby, etc. And the younger groups, just make this very much the epicentre of rugby for us.
Because we've seen some really good crowds down here throughout the season. Obviously the performance on the pitch it's been going really well, and that kind of feel-good factor comes. So you'd expect the rugby diehards to turn up and they'd be interested.
Yeah.
Do you want to expand it beyond that?
Yeah, and thank you for that. I mean, we have seen a good improvement. I think as a club we've been better with our social media. We've partnered up with different individuals, and now we've got a great partnership with TPA, working as our media partners in that way, not only for the Raiders but also for the international side. And so I think there's an awareness. So try and shed that image of when I was playing rugby back in the 80s and 90s of a load of beer swilling hooligans, which there's still an element of that, but actually make it a family event. We're all family people, have our partners come along and our kids to watch it. So what can we put in with the game, in that mix, to make it a better solution for everyone? Bit of music, bit of entertainment, where it's selling the popcorn and all that type of thing. We're not going to try go quite American, have cheerleaders there, well, not at the moment that I'm aware of, but actually try and make it a day out for everyone. So yeah, the game will be a good game, and you will get the rugby diehards, but it'll be an entertaining day out, and with the hospitality that we can offer everyone, just to make it a nice day to go. Hopefully be a sunny day. ironically how it is today in our poor weather we get here. But yeah, hopefully make it a good day out for everyone to come and see. We want to win. If we lose, we lose. But the idea is we're playing to win.
One of the focus points for us is how do we constantly bring the community together? So we looked at different events that we've been putting on over the years, and one of the main ones for us was, we have the CI Cup, which is the pinnacle. It's 5,000 people turning up to a game, and it doesn't get any bigger. So we thought, well, how can we replicate something like that? That's not that, because we want to give something else. Then we started talking about different avenues that we could take, and it came up about, playing an international side, but also combining that with Jersey. So once we got through all the nuts and bolts of dealing with maybe the politics around that as well, and some probably fears and concerns, we've got to the stage now where we think there's a good launching pad for us to do it. And like our chairman said the other day, he said, if we can be putting these events on regardless of breaking even or not, this is what we should be doing as to bring the community together, and we think it's a great initiative.
In terms of the opponents that you've got coming down, what can you tell us about that?
Strong squad. Sweden are decent enough. They're doing really well internationally at the moment. A lot of their players are actually, they're playing at National 1 level in the English league system. So although that's a daunting task, I think the fact that we're combining with Jersey, there's a lot of quality in both sides. They've still got a lot of championship guys there playing. We've still got a lot of quality in ours. I think it would be a daunting task if we're probably doing this by ourselves. Not so much because we don't have the talent in our squad, but after playing 30 league games for the season, it's the bodies are pretty tired. So combining the resources with Jersey makes it also interesting, but it is kind of fascinating what kind of side that we can select, and the fact that it's all going to be based off the Siam selection. So the performance they put out there for 80 minutes, and then they'll be selected after that for the international game. I mean, who would have thought you needed more motivation in the Siam Cup, and now we've thrown that into it. So I just think it creates a little bit of dynamic, and it's not to take away from the Siam either. That still has a special spot in everyone's minds. This is just something completely different to that, and it's important that we get that out, because playing international rugby is not something that's pretty common over here for us. So to be able to do that is fantastic.
There's a big carrot there at the end of the season, isn't it? But how's that selection process going to work? And also in terms of the coaching staff, how's that all coming together?
We'll try and combine a lot of it. It was initially going to be the home team would coach and Jersey would have it next year. However, we feel this was only going to be the first one. Jersey decided they didn't want to do it over there just yet. Hopefully we can change that. But for us at the moment, we'll probably just bring in Miles with us as well, if he's interested to do some of the coaching with us as well. There's some policies around the selection as well, but both coaches will have input of what that is. And even if I was selecting the team by myself tomorrow, I'd be pretty excited about selecting a lot of the Jersey sides in the side, because at the end of the day, our aim is to create the best Channel Islands rugby side. So you need to put egos aside and friendships aside and just do that. So it'll always be difficult around that, and I'm sure there's always going to be conversations, but that builds the excitement around it. I mean, it'll be fantastic for the rugby community to be sending in their team sheets before selection, just like we do on the Lions tours. Who should be selected and all that, and it builds that atmosphere around it. But hopefully we can do it justice, and myself and Miles will do the best job we can.
What challenges are there from a coaching perspective? Trying to, you spoke about the Lions. Obviously the Lions have got quite a lead-in period, but even they think that's too short.
Yeah. So the toughest part is probably just the turnaround for training. But what the challenge we face as coaches, which I don't necessarily think it's a challenge. I just think we need to be smarter in how we prep. Is just understanding that you get that one training session, that one weekend to galvanise the squad, work out how you're going to play and move it in. But the thing for us is, and I've always said this, playing rep rugby, and I was fortunate enough to play rep rugby back at home, where you only had 2 sessions and then next thing you're playing in the national titles. it's not necessarily about how much time you get to them. They've been playing rugby all year. They know how to play rugby, okay? What our job as coaches is just giving them a plan that suits both sides. So we have a certain style that we play, they have a certain style that they play, and my job is to work out, well, what's the heavy medium between the two, and just understand this is how we're going to then construct the game for that. So that'll be the challenge that we face. But like I said, I don't see it as much as a challenge. We've just got to be smart about how we do it. And our job is just to make sure we're putting an entertainment rugby out. That's it. We want the boys to play. Hopefully it's a dry day. We want to throw the ball around. We want to play some rugby. And like I said before, with the quality that they have in Jersey and the quality that we have here, I'm sure we can put a side together that can deliver that.
What do you see the future of this kind of initiative?
So for us, it's always daunting when you do the first one, right? Because if it's not a success or it is a success, be careful what you wish for. But for us, if this can be successful, we can see this continually moving down the track. We'll never do it on the same year as the Siam for us. It'll always be that second year. But for us, it's about, maybe we play Sweden one year and maybe, we're playing Germany, Portugal the next. How far you can move this forward, we don't know. At the moment, it's a blank canvas for us, and we're just trying to put out the best product we can. There's a lot of things that have to go right, obviously, but like I said before, if we can get the support from the community behind this could be an initiative that could last forever. And how fantastic would it be, having the Siam Cup one. Siam Cup, and then making selections for international fixtures after that. I think for the playing group, not just the community, but the playing group, the memories that they're going to have of this. Imagine if this was the first one in 100 years before we're long and gone, it's still being an event. It'll be something to remember.
So we don't want to stand still on this. We're very clear this is the inaugural event, and it will just be the men's game that we play. However, we anticipate this event's going to be a big success, and there's going to be a real appetite for it moving forward. So we want to grow it. So our aim is to create a Siam-style event on the years where we don't have a Siam. So that means, a ladies' match, a second team match, and perhaps a vets match as well. I think the reality, those things will come over the course of the years. Maybe if we do it again here in 2 years' time, I don't think we'll perhaps have all four, but we'll certainly be looking to grow and have more than one game in a couple of years' time. But as I say, this is the inaugural event that we're very excited about, and I think it will grow as time moves on. We'd love everybody to get involved with this. As I say, we're doing it for the community of Guernsey, so once we get out there and put tickets on sale, please come down and support the event. We're very aware that the event is on the same day as the Marathi, which is a big thing for Guernsey football down at their new home. However, our game is going to be an evening kickoff, so it won't impact on that whatsoever. So we'd love the community to go down, watch the Marathi, enjoy themselves down there, and then come up here and watch a really good match between two very, very good sides. So what a day for Guernsey sport.
I'm also hoping, getting this model right, that there'll be other sports on the island that have similar challenges to us, that maybe go, well, actually, maybe we can put this rivalry to good use and go, let's be a collaborative force and play whatever your chosen sport is, and play as a Channel Islands team. And I'd be very happy to engage with other sporting fraternities to say, this is our learning, this is what we did, this is what worked for us, what didn't work, as that goes. And I think, it's, I'm not trying to be a pioneer, but maybe we are a pioneer, and I've been told, I don't want to get it wrong, but I've been told I don't think the Channel Islands have ever played internationally as a Channel Islands team against another nation. I think there's been some club games played. So, you think, well, we've been around for a long time at Channel Islands. It's about time we maybe embraced a little bit of change. But, still that rivalry will be out there for everyone to see on the Siam Cup, and, hopefully Guernsey will prevail in that matter.
And I guess I've spoken a bit before about this, but that rivalry can actually be a force for good for this fixture, can't it? Because you're being competitive.
Absolutely.
You want to be selected above your opposite number. Right?
Well, absolutely. Suddenly you're in your peer group, and you get natural selection through that, and then all of a sudden there's another 15 or 20 players from the next door island that are going, I want your position, I want your position. You go up your own game. So I think the winner's rugby. I think the winner is our society, our supporting fraternity, and I think that way we all gain out of that. As you said, at a playing level, you go up your game because you want to be selected. You don't really want to be on the bench. No one really wants to be on the bench, do you? And so from that point of view, I think we should all gain out of it. So,
And any final words as well?
Final words. We're putting a lot of effort into putting this on. Please come and support us however you want to support us, whether that's standing on the sidelines, taking some of our corporate hospitality, cheering on, and if you can't physically make it, we'll try and stream it on some sort of outlet or the other. But please come and help us develop this in and have something like a legacy that we got, the Siam Cup, to sit alongside that in 20, 30 years to say, you was at that inaugural game. You can only ever go once to the inaugural game. And if we don't get it right, well, vote with your feet the following year. But I really appreciate any support. Any questions, chair@guernseyraiders.com. Thank you.
That was the warm-up. Thanks again for listening. Please like and subscribe for more. You can find all our sports news on gsy.bailiwickexpress.com and on all our social channels. Sign up to our daily email to keep up to date on all the work the Express team does.